So welcome to Challenge 25 of the 30-day Grow More Leaders Challenge. And this particular subject ties in with Challenge 24. So if you haven't had the chance to see Challenge 24, take a look at that. And this is part 2, which is how can we all become our own Chief Learning Officer? And I think the point I really want to stress is that we live in extraordinary times. There is just so much transformation, so much change. The world of work is changing with hybrid working, post-COVID, globalization, climate change, the list goes on. And it's never been more important that we each prioritize our own learning. But how do you do that when you're feeling that you haven't got enough hours in the day and you're already stretched and already overwhelmed? And I'd probably say that in itself is probably a good indicator that you need to pay more attention to your own learning and your own development, because that's the only thing we can control and influence. There are so many things out there that are outside of our control, but we can control how we grow, how we develop, and how we actually invest in ourselves. So here are 3 simple practical things that you can be doing as a coach or a consultant for your clients or as a leader for your team. And I'm proposing that you actually start your own 30-day experiment or your own 30-day challenge with your clients or with your team. So I'm proposing that you ask each individual or individuals or your clients for the next 30 days to deliberately go for a walk each day, whether it's walking the dog, whether it's going for a walk at lunchtime, whether it's going for a walk at the end of the day, but then listen to a podcast of their own choice. And the podcast could be anything. It could be work related, it could be health related, it could be life related, but they make the time to consciously take a break from work and listen to a podcast. And they do that each day for the next 30 days. The second thing that I'm proposing is that each individual does something each day for the next 30 days to take care of their well-being. Their physical well-being, their mental well-being, their spiritual well-being. So they deliberately do something, whether it's a meditation, whether it's a yoga class, whether it's a high-impact interval training, whether it's going for a swim, whether it's going for a walk and talk, whatever it is, but they are very deliberately doing something where they break their normal daily habit and routine, but they are taking care of their own well-being in some way. And then I'm proposing that you set up a WhatsApp group where you encourage participants and colleagues to share one top tip from the things that they've been doing here. So a top tip from a podcast that they've been listening to, a top tip from what they've been doing in terms of their well-being. But can you just imagine though, if you've got a small team of 6 to 10 or a small team of 2 to 5 colleagues, but each day for the next 30 days, colleagues are not only doing these activities for themselves, but they're passing the learning on to their colleagues. Just think of the impact that would have, both in terms of knowledge sharing, but also in terms of sharing ideas about well-being, sharing ideas about learning, sharing ideas about how they are growing as individuals. So drop me a note, let me know how you get on with this 30-day experiment yourselves, what resonated, what's working, and I will see you on Challenge 26.